2, 3.
Hey, what is up YouTube? My name is Eton. Welcome back to Storytime with Eton. You guys liked the last one so much. It was very much appreciated. It was the episode 1, I guess you could say, or number 1 of Storytime with Eton. So yeah, we have another story, and in honor of Halloween, and in honor of, you know, October and everything like that, might as well do a spooky, scary story, I guess. I don't know, this isn't really too scary, but it was kind of scary for me. This happened to me when I was a lot younger. I wouldn't say actually a lot younger, maybe just 6 years ago. What grade would I have been in? Maybe it wasn't even 6 years. I guess it was 6 school years ago, so I must have been in 6th grade when this happened, maybe 7th grade. Maybe I'm just getting it wrong completely, but this is a spooky, scary story that involves a few things. If you have ever seen the movie The Shining, if you know what that movie is, then you might know where this is going. I've talked about it a little bit. Also, sorry if you hear anything in my room. I have both my doggies here. Come here, babies. Oh, they're so cute. I have 2 little mini schnauzers. If I take, probably take a picture, put them on the screen right now. They're so cute and adorable. So yeah, if you hear any like heavy breathing, that's them. It's not me. But yeah, this story happens. Do you hear that? That's them. Hi, baby. You're so cute. Okay, go away. I gotta record a video. So yeah, this happened, you know, just a few years ago, I guess, maybe 6, 5 something years ago. And The Shining took place in a hotel called the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. And I stayed in that hotel. I stayed in that very hotel where it took place. The movie The Shining, it was made in made in 1980. It was released in 1980. If you don't know what it is, I'll probably just put a link to it in the description. Go check it out. Watch the movie if you want. Now, I never knew that this hotel that I was staying at, that my parents chose to stay at in Estes Park, Colorado, was I guess you could say haunted. I guess you could say a movie took place here. So I had no idea. My little brother had no idea. But at this hotel, we got inside. It was a very nice hotel, really, truly nice hotel. And I had no idea until we got in the hotel room. There was this like old style TV, which I've never really seen before. It was like a really, really old style TV. It was not flat screen, nothing like that. And my dad found on one of the channels that dog, shut up. Oh, do you want to go out here? Oh, hold on, I want to go out. Come here, come here. Go run around. Sorry. As you guys know, this is just one straight up like recording. Like, I don't want to cheat you guys out of anything. They found out that one of the channels was 24-hour cycle of the movie The Shining. And so I'm now in the Stanley Hotel, the movie where The Shining was shot, and the movie itself, a whole channel is just dedicated to this. Just dedicated to this to this one movie, which is insane. So I actually then watched the movie late at night too, so it really wasn't a good idea for me. And we stayed there, I think 3 nights or 4 nights. I think one of the two, because we did a bunch of stuff around Estes, and then we went down to Denver. You know, just around Colorado, just for the vacation. And so when we were there, I watched the movie, right? And so like I'm like 10, 11 years old, right? And this is a 10 and 11-year-old watching a rated R, spooky, scary movie. Now, if you've ever seen The Shining, you'll probably understand my pain that I went through here. It was a scary movie. It was a very scary movie. Was it a good movie? Yes and no. But it was scary, especially if at a young age. I don't suggest you watch it, but watch it if you want to feel my pain here. As I said before, what am I saying? Freaking Eton talk. And so I watched the entire movie with my dad, and my dad's like, "Ethan, you okay? You good? You good? I don't. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down." So I mean, I wasn't crying or anything, but I was kind of, you know, freaked out. I didn't really want to leave the room. But you know, obviously we had to because we were, you know, doing stuff in Colorado. And so then the next night. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, my room was literally in the same hallway as one of like the scenes happened. I'm not sure what scene it was. It was not the scene of the 2 girls like riding down, I think on like a tricycle thing in the hallway, or any girls walking down. It wasn't that hallway, but it was across from one of the rooms where like a major event in the movie happened. So it was very spooky because like I'm like, because I told my dad, I'm like, "Wait, Dad, isn't that room across the hall from us?" And he's like, "Yep, it is." And I'm like, Shit. So it was very, very rough for me. My brother obviously didn't care; he was too young. But which also brings up another funny part, which I'll bring up later. Um, so the next night happens, and we just came home from eating, dinner. We had just a nice dinner. I don't really remember what we had. It was freaking 5 years ago. Stop freaking questioning me. So it was a long time ago, and after we got done with dinner, we went back to the hotel room. My mom fell asleep. My brother fell asleep. My dad was awake. He was I'm not sure what he was doing. I think he was reading like a book or something. Um, and so I heard people out in the hallway. And this wasn't any normal person. This was a very faint, sounded kind of old manish. It was very, very disturbing and weird. I didn't really like it, especially after watching The Shining, the movie. So I was like, yeah. So I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, I'm gonna go out. I'm just gonna go walk around the halls, check it out. And this must have been, I don't know, 9 o'clock at night. My dad was like, Yeah, sure, go ahead. Just don't leave. Don't leave the hotel. And I was like, Yeah, sure. And so I walk out. I walk out of the hotel. This is true story, true fact, by the way. I walk out of my room. There's no one there. There's just this one light above me, and then a few lights just down the hall. And this is where the magic happens. This is where the fun, not so very fun stuff happens. I'm walking down the hall, and I just see a shadow, and it's a shadow of a person. This is true. I vividly see it in my brain right now. I don't normally get nightmares, but this thing gave me a nightmare that night. I swear. It was just a shadow on the ground turning in the corner. Like, as soon as I walked out, I saw it. And no, it was not my shadow. It was actually physically, scientifically impossible for it to be my shadow. Because with the way the light was on, like, my reflection of my small body, it was not possible. It was just not possible for it to happen. And so the shadow is there, right? And I say, hello? Anybody there? And I just start walking down. And the shadow then turns the corner, around the corner. And my room is like all the way at the end of the hall, right? Okay. So I'm all the way at the end of the hall. I start walking down the hallway to the left. The shadow moves across. I don't see the shadow anymore. So I now sprint. I'm running as fast as I can, turn the corner. There's nothing there. And I still hear that old man. And it's not in any of the other rooms, because I would have heard them directly through like one of the doors or one of the walls. There was nothing there. I just hear something. I hear a man. It's no TV, no radio, nothing was there. It was that spooky scary. I don't know what it was still to this day, but that's what happened. So let me continue. I'm walking down the hall now. There's no shadow. There was never anybody there because there was no footsteps. Yeah, there was no footsteps after the shadow moved. All I heard was just me. Nothing else was in the hall. And as I turn the corner, I'm trying to remember. As I turn the corner, there's nothing in the hall. And then I start walking down, and then the elevator dings. And so the door was closed. The door to the elevator was closed as it like came up and opened. It was closed. No one gotten in. No one gotten out. So I'm walking up to the elevator, right? There's no one in the elevator, I might say. And I obviously would have heard footsteps. I would have heard anything, really, because I was paying so close attention. The elevator then opens, and I'm like looking in the elevator. There's no one there. I just peek my head in the elevator and make sure no one's there. I come back out. Elevator closes, goes up. It's like kind of like an older style elevator, so it makes a bunch of noise. So I start like freaking out. I'm like panicking. I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna die? What is happening here? And so then, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember. I then gather myself. I'm like, all right, I don't see anything. And then I see the shadow again on the other side of the hall. Not where I came from, but further down. And so, being the little silly pussy that I am, I go near it. It then comes closer to me. I don't know how the hell this is possible, but there was a shadow that came closer to me. And there's no way that the light could make it happen, because that's how shadows work. If you have like an object here and the sun or any type of light is coming down on you, it makes a shadow behind you. This is not how that worked. It was physically, chemically, scientifically impossible for it to happen like that. So no, it was just a no. So I'm like, all right, nope. I start now backpedaling, not fast, but I just start back walking behind me. and I'm just like, okay, I see the shadow. It's staying like right at its position. I then turn the corner back to my room, which obviously I'm now going backwards now to the right, as I was going left to the front now, left, walking forward. And then so I turn, I stay there for like 3 seconds. I then peek my face, shadow's gone. Like, what? What is this? I then go back for like 2 seconds, peek again, shadow's gone. I did that one more time, shadow was gone. And then I just went back into my room. I like started knocking on the door because I didn't bring a key with me. They didn't have like those little key slide things. Like if the keys, they were like physical keys that you like would open a legitimate door with, or even a car door with. And so I'm like knocking on my door as fast as I can. My dad's like, Ethan, what's wrong? And so I tell him this, and he's like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I swear this really happened. And he's like, okay, just go to bed, all right? And so I go to bed, and that's the next night. So the next day, what else happens? Oh, I wake up then the next morning. I wake up to the sound of The Shining playing. Both my parents are asleep, and my little brother is watching the movie. True story. This is kind of the funny thing. My little brother's watch. So if I was like 10 or 11, he must have been 6 or 5, 6 or 7. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think, because like we went in the summer, so he would have been 6. So yeah, this is some like little 6-year-olds watching The Shining, and so I'm like, what? I'm not gonna say his name. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you watching that? And he's like, what? You watched it the other night. I want to watch it. And I'm like, Jasper, I'm just like, Jay, what are you doing? Why? Why are you doing this? He's like, because it's a funny movie. I'm like, it's a funny movie? What are you talking about? And so he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, what part are you on? He's like, oh, I'm kind of at the ending. I like the part when that guy like broke through the door, and I'm just like, shut up. I don't want to hear it. He was obviously referring to what the thumbnail of this video will be. Besides, my Minecraft face won't be on there. But so yeah, that's kind of my spooky, scary story. It happened the summer of 2009, 2010, something. I might be getting dates wrong, but I don't know. It was that's kind of what happened. So let me just run through with you guys again. I saw a shadow, old man voice. Shadow goes away. Impossible for light to create the shadow on my body. Impossible. Random elevator door opens up, closes, makes funny noises. It was rough for me. Okay, I didn't really like the rest of my experience in Colorado. But yeah, I'm never going back to Estes Park ever again. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, hit that like button. Show some love. Maybe in the comments, guys, tell me your spooky, scary stories. Make it a paragraph if you want. Make it a bunch of paragraphs. I don't care. Tell me your guys' favorite stories. I will read them, and I will hopefully enjoy them. Also, I was just playing some CS in this game. Or, I was just playing some CS just to cover this. I didn't really want to play Minecraft, and I'm about to get, I think, ops right here. Actually, no, never mind. This isn't the scene. This isn't the clip. But, yeah, I end up going off to win this game. I'll probably just make this CS game. I'll probably just upload it just as another video. But yeah, it was just a random Counter-Strike game. Why not, So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you all enjoyed, I guess. Yeah, I'll try and think of some other stuff. But, yeah, I'm not too sure what other scary stories I have. I'll think of some other stories. But, yeah, that's basically it. My name's Eton. I'll see you guys for another story time with Eton.